welcome to the end of the 2021 Great South African Rugby Quiz. We are live tonight with our plate final. I'm your host Richard, and thank you for joining us. First off, we've got some hands helping us out, our TMO. Before I introduce him, I just want to make a disclaimer. We did ask Alma Smith if she's available to help us out, but apparently she's washing her hair tonight. So, joining us as our TMO, so SA Rugby Mag, its very own and grand Jean-Ray Hubert.
Good night, everyone. Just want to say good luck to all the... Still in yellow.
I say, let's get going. Right, let's introduce our players for the evening. First off, let's start with our bowl final winner. Now, this was our top seed in the preliminaries. And in terms of comebacks, Mornay Steyn has a poster of this guy on his bedroom wall. It's Rugby and Law and Order, Jacques the Rooimier ter Blanche.
Hallo manne.
How's it, Jacques?
Lekker intro.
I say, jy reg of not?
Ek's reg.
I say, perfect. Next up, joining us out of Pool B, our Pool B runner-up. This is the love child of Lionel Richie and Cheslin Colby, the future mayor of Peniel, and Zelt Marais' worst nightmare. Rugby chats with Angus Opperman. How's it, Angus?
How's it, gents? How's it? Good to be here. I'm looking forward to tonight, eh?
Awesome. Thanks for being with us, Angus, and all the best. Next up, we have our wildcard entry after our Pool C runner-up had to withdraw at the last moment. This guy was kicked out of the Sharks Academy for being too good-looking. It's Sean.
There we go.
How's it, Sean?
Fine and self.
Great. All the best for you tonight. Great. Next up, we've got the voice of reason, and the only reason some of us actually still buy an SA Rugby Mag hard copy, it's Dylan Jack.
How's it, guys? Awesome intro.
Great. Thanks for being with us. And he, of course, Dylan was our Pool B runner-up joining us tonight. And finally, last but not least, Frans Malherbe's biggest dream is to scrum against this guy. He's the leader of the False Bay Fines Committee, and he's giving props street cred since 2009. It's the Brighton Miracle. How's it, Mr. Miracle? How are you?
Good, thank you. Sorry, there's love on the spectrum in the background, so hopefully my answers aren't going to be on the spectrum too.
Let's hope not. Great. Thanks for joining us, guys. And this is, of course, the plate final. Up for grabs tonight is a shot in the a plate final with a shot in the grand final next week. Up for grabs. From here, this is the last call or last round for everybody to get in. We've already got some love coming in from the comment section. Greg, Mr. Miracle, you're getting support from Andre Gilde tonight already. Okay.
He's already in the final, if I'm not mistaken.
He's already in the final. I think he's putting...
Tell him I'll wait for him there.
Perfect. Right, so let's before we get into it, let's go past our quiz rules again tonight. Rule number 1, banter is encouraged, which is the reason we are allowing Mr. Miracle to be on tonight. Rule number 2, if you try and Google, time will catch you out. So don't try it. We've had somebody that's tried it in the past. And then rule number 3, most important rule, have a drink in close proximity, gents. It's going to be a long night for some of us. Everybody ready? Let's get cracking. First up, we are going to go into our round 1. This is where our TMO is going to help us with our scorekeeping tonight. Thanks, Jean-Ray. First up, our first game tonight is going to be our new kickoff rounds. So, how the kickoff is going to work, it's an opportunity where we cover a central theme and you get the opportunity to build up points for yourself. So, how it will work, it's going to be made up, as I said, entirely of a specific theme, and questions are going to be ranked and scored in terms of difficulty. You get to choose which questions you want to answer. So, our theme for the evening is the Curry Cup. But before we get started on the Curry Cup and we start our kickoff, we need to do our coin toss. So how the coin toss is going to work, Jock and Sean played the coin toss in the bowl final, so they already know how it's going, what the objective here is. The objective is to get closest to the post. So by that we mean you need to get as close as possible to the correct answer, as that will set our running order. If two players give the same score, the first one that provided the correct score receives the higher ranking. And if you hit the target by giving us the correct score, you are off the mark with a bonus point already. Everybody ready? Our coin toss question. How many appearances did the legendary Frik de Pre make for Northern Transvaal or the Blue Bulls? 1 minute to answer. Right, gents, 30 seconds left. We've got Andre in the comment section again. He says he's ready. Right, 10 seconds left to lock in those answers.
So, what do we think of this jersey I bought off Facebook Marketplace?
Nah.
No, not. Fire lighter this weekend.
Hey.
2003.
Okay, so if we look at our scores, we've got 67. Jock, was that you or Sean, was that you?
No, that's me.
Okay, Sean,
I was 74.
Okay, so you were 74. Where you would just need to check your settings again in the background. But let's quickly check. We've got Sean with 67, Angus with 167, Greg with 143, Jock giving us 74, and Dylan giving us 101. Andre, do you have a running order ready there? Mr. TMO?
Okay, so the correct answer. Okay, wait. Okay, let's see.
Is?
Can I give a correct answer?
The correct answer is 109 appearances.
Yes. Okay.
So
So first up will be Dylan Jack,
Dylan,
followed
heading up
by
first.
second. Well, my maths is not so good now. I think it's gonna be 30. Yeah. Okay. Followed by the first blank, which is
Jock de Blanche.
Dr. Blanche. Yes.
Second
Then-
off, that means next up we've got Sean,
Yes. And then
followed by Greg,
Greg and
followed by Angus.
Angus, you lost.
Perfect.
I know.
Great. So that's our running order for the first round. So our board we're going to play on the Curry Cup. I'm giving you Curry Cup champions. So you'll see the bottom row giving a correct answer worth a 1 point, middle row worth 2 points, and the top row being worth 3 points. So Dylan, you are first off the mark as our closest to the post. Which question do you want to answer tonight? First off.
I'll get myself off to a decent start and go 2017 and say Western Province.
Dylan going 2017 Western Province. That is in fact correct. 2017 is Western Province. Next up, Jock.
1970, Mannetjies Roe, Piet Visagie, Griekwas.
So Jock going for a 3-pointer up front. Scores 3 points there. Next up, Sean.
1946.
No, man, Oaks.
I think it's Ibella, Northern Transvaal.
1946, he calls the Blue Bulls. That is, in fact, the Blue Bulls. That's 3 points off the mark. Next up, Greg.
98.
Yes.
The Lions.
Greg saying 1998, the Lions. That's unfortunately the Bulls. Angus, your first choice.
2008, the Sharks.
He goes for 2008, the Sharks. That's 2 points off the mark with the Sharks. So now we're running reverse order back, which means Angus, your choice next.
2000, Western Province.
So Angus saying 2000 Western Province. That is in fact Western Province. Next up, Greg, the Mr. Miracle, your choice.
99, the Golden Lions.
99, the Golden Lions. Off the mark with 2 points. Sean.
My life wasn't a lie.
1950.
Not.
Let's take a chance. I'll go with the Lions, Transvaal.
1950,
Ooh,
the
that's
Lions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
lucky.
1950, the Lions. Mr. Meer.
1976, first time Free State won it.
You are 100% correct.
Well done.
1976, the Cheetahs, which leaves Dylan with our last choice.
Oh, well, I went safe with my first answer. I'm probably forced into going safe with my second answer here. So I'm going to have to go 2019 Curry Cup Cheetahs.
2019, the Cheetahs. Great, perfect. Right, so that's our first round of Curry Cup questions done and dusted. We will be keeping the running order the same as we move into our super fan round. Over here, you get to choose one of the Curry Cup teams that you wish to answer a question on. After you've chosen your team, the question will appear, and you get put on the spot to answer the question. So, Dylan, keeping with the same running order, who do you want to go for first?
I went safe, but I'm going to have to go with a big one this time. I'm going to have to go with Lions.
Okay, so Dylan going with the Lions. So, your question, in which year did the Golden Lions or Transvaal win their first ever Curry Cup title?
Jeez. This is going to be a big guess. 1975.
1975. The correct answer there is 1922.
Sure.
Okay,
Jock,
got the shot.
Mr. Roymeer.
Yes, I'm glad I didn't pick my team, the Lions. I would have. give me the SW Eagles.
SWD Eagles. In which year did the SWD Eagles make their only Curry Cup semi-final appearance?
No ways. Never.
That was 98.
You said 98. That was so close as it was 99.
I was ready to give you my points if you got that right.
Sean,
I thought it's 97.
Let's take Griquas.
Sean going for Griquas, a 2-pointer. So, our 2-pointer, playing for Griquas during the 2010 season, which player scored a record 21 tries during the 2010 Curry Cup, which is a season record that stands still today?
Beyond the Sun.
He says Beyond the Sun. The answer there is Bjorn Besson. Mr. Miracle.
We'll go for Colin Moss's team, the Falcon.
Colin Moss's team, the Falcon. By what name was the Falcon known when they competed in the now defunct Global Rapid Rugby Tournament? So to give you a bit of background, the Union entered the breakaway
was
tournament
in
but they were
Malaysia.
playing under a different name.
The Malaysian Falcons. I can't remember.
That is, in fact, correct.
Okay, cool.
Well
The
done.
Malaysia Falcon. Perfect. Angus.
I'm going to chance my arm here and go for border.
Going for border as a 2-pointer. Which current Springbok winger got his big break in 2015 with the Border Bulldogs after the professional arm went bankrupt?
Makazola Mapimpi. Mapims. Makazola Mapimpi.
It is, in fact, Makazole Mapimpi. Right, running reverse order. Angus, your choice again.
Play it safe. Go for Province.
I hope my beloved Western Province.
Going for Western Province. I think you would love this one. Name the current president of the Western Province Rugby Football Union. I think you know him personally, if I'm not mistaken.
Zelt Maree.
And that is,
I have
in
his
fact,
WhatsApp number, but I think I blocked him in case I get some threats again. So yeah, let's not go.
okay. Sorry, and that is, in fact, Zalt Maree. Sorry, we just need to quickly get our system back. We had a small technical error there. And Angus, it is your choice again.
No, it should be mine.
Again, okay, 3 times the charm.
Oh, yes, sorry. It's yes, you are
let's go
correct.
Pumas.
It's Greg.
Yeah.
I'll go for the Pumas.
Going for the Pumas.
Fafta
Which domestic tournament did the Pumas win during the 2015 season?
Was the Curry Cup First Division?
Actually, in fact, it was not. They were already in the Premier Division at that stage. It was the Vodacom Cup, the last edition of the Vodacom Cup that they
Vodacom
won.
Cup final.
Sean,
It was against Western Province actually.
Let's take the shot.
Yeah.
Sean taking the Sharks as a 1-pointer. So you've seen our 1-pointers, the level there. Which Sharks player?
Patrick
scored
Lambie.
3 of 5 goals? Patrick Lambie. And it's Patrick Lambie. Jock. There's
Give me
1
Griffins.
3-pointer and 2 1-pointer. You were going for the Griffins. You're going for the big one.
Yeah.
Prior to being renamed the Griffins, what was the colloquial nickname given to the Northern Free State side?
Hulle was Noord-Vrystaat, Purple People Eaters.
That is, in fact, correct. They were the Purple People Eaters. Dylan,
Oh, wow.
you are left with a 2-pointer or 1-pointers at the bottom. What are
Give me
you
the
going to go
2-pointer.
for?
I need to play catch up here. So Eastern
Going for
Province.
the 2-pointer, Eastern Province. How many Curry Cup titles have Eastern Province won?
Yeah. I'm going to say, can't be too many. I'm going to say 2.
That is, in fact, correct. They've won 0 Curry Cup titles. Right.
Border 1-2.
Perfect. So after the end of our Curry Cup round, Genre, can we just quickly get a recap of the score? Where are we standing currently?
Yes, just busy editing it now. It's almost done. So we've got Dark and sorry. We've got Shauna sitting on 9 points. Brighton Miracle on 5 points. Rugby Chats with Angus with 7 points. And bringing up the rear, Dylan Jack.
Okay, perfect. So Jar currently taking the lead for us there. Is that correct?
Jock and Sean are tied on 9 points.
Jock and Sean tied on 9 points. Jock will then be taking our lead on the next round as he scored higher on the coin toss. Our next
Sean,
game.
I think your wife just called you, eh? Sean, your wife called you, eh?
Right, gents, moving on to our next game. Round 2, our Bomb Squad. This is a new take on one of our past games. You all remember we are the champions. And before we get going, Andre's showing us that saying that the pressures of being a TMO in South Africa is quite huge. I think cut him some slack there tonight, Andre. This is a new job for all of us. So the Bomb Squad, how our new game will work, has proven that having a strong bench can be worth additional points on the board. Players will be provided with a starting lineup from a noteworthy or memorable match, and the goal is to complete the lineup in the same format as we did now. The catch is a correct starting player is only worth 1 point, where choosing a correct Bomb Squad member will be worth 2 points. So the game we're going to be playing tonight, we're going to be covering, is memorable from 1997, South Africa 61, Australia 22. Sorry, we're just getting Mr. Miracle back on the stream. So we're going to be covering the lineup of the South African team in the game. I'm going to start by giving you a few members of the starting lineup. And Jock, as our leader, you get to decide which option you want to choose first. And no pressure, because as Gav says, God is in the lead.
I'll play the bench one and go for it now. I'll go number 21, Smiley.
Van der Swanepoel on 21.
Yes.
Yes, unfortunately, remember back in 97, the numbers were reversed. So number 21 was in fact Drotsky. Next up, Sean.
Number 15, Andre Hubert.
Number 15, Andre Hubert. And that's correct. Andre Hubert, number 15. Next up, Angus.
I'll go 22 with Smiley then.
Wait, 22? Sorry, Angus, what were you saying there? You're breaking up again.
With Van der Swanepoel.
Van der Swanepoel, number 22.
I said I'll go 22 with Van der Swanepoel.
Yes, perfect. And it is in fact Darby Tron who wore the number 22 jersey. Mr. Miracle, I see we are struggling to get you on here.
Yeah.
We are just waiting for Greg to join back the stream again.
Seem to be struggling a bit here. Is it my turn to choose?
Yes, it's your turn to choose.
13, Percy Montgomery.
Number 13 is, yes,
Wow.
Percy Montgomery.
Nice one.
Finally, Dylan.
I'm gonna go 14, James Small.
Number 14, James Small. And that's correct. Number 14 is James Small. Now running back in reverse order. Dylan, your choice again.
Jeez. Who do I have here? Not certain at all. Number 4, Corbus Visa.
Number 4, Cobus Visa. It was, in fact, his Lions teammate, Hannes Strydom. Right, Mr. Miracle.
Number 7, Ruben Krier.
Number 7, Ruben Krier. Number 7 was, in fact, Rassie Erasmus. Angus.
Number 10, Henry Hannibal.
Number 10 was, in fact, Jannie de Beer. Right, next up, Sean.
6, Ruben Creer.
Number 6 going for Ruben Creer. And that was in
Ah.
fact Warren Brosnian. Jock.
I'm still going with Smiley. I'm going to pick 16 this time.
Number 16, Peter Rousseau. But not to worry, as we are running reverse order again. So, Jock, your last pick.
Number 17, Smiley.
He was there, but I unfortunately the picks. Right, Sean.
Number 18, Smiley.
Number 18 was in fact Van der Swanepoel.
Oh, man.
Perfect. Next up, Angus.
Number 11, Brayton Paulsen.
Number 11 was in fact Andre Snyman, as Brayton Paulsen made his debut only 2 years later. Next up, we've got Mr. Miracle. Are you back online with us again? Joined us just in time to choose. I think we might have lost him there again. Greg?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Thank you for joining us. You've got one of 3 players left to choose. Number 2, 3, or 12. Which choice are you going for?
I'll go for number 12. Sorry, I'll go for number 2, Chris Rousseau.
Number 2 was in fact James Dalton. Which leaves Dylan with our last choice. You've got a prop or a center. Which one are you going for?
3, Marius Herter.
Number 3 was in fact Marius Herter.
Wow, nice.
Perfect. And that means our last question was Henry Honeyball, who was the center for the day. Right. So, Jandre, before we move on, can we get a recap? I think we just need to unmute Jandre there. Jandre, you put yourself on mute.
Sorry. Sean has
Yes.
taken a bit of a lead there on 12 points. Jacques staying on 9. Angus on 7. Brighton Miracle on 6. And Dylan on 4.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Sorry, I think we just need to quickly make a plan with our weather on this side. Next up, we are moving to apologies for that, gents. We are having some bit of rain on this side as well. Next up, we are playing one of our older games, Who Am I? But in a new format. So the objective is still the same. You need to name the player. We're going to give you 5 clues, all related to the same player. The points are going to be scored on a sliding scale, as per usual, based on your clue number. And again, the same rules apply, that if you provide the correct answer on the first clue, you score 5 points. 5th clue equals 1 point. And of course, any incorrect answer overrides a previous correct answer.
So we're not supposed to say this now. We're supposed to type it.
This is one that we are going to type, yes. So,
Okay.
Who Am I? We've got a new look board for the evening for Who Am I? And let's get going on it. So, clue number 1. I am the top point scoring forward in Super Rugby history. 30 seconds on the clock before the next clue comes up, gentlemen. Right. Clue number 2. I'm also the top point scoring forward in Test rugby history. Andre says he's got it there. Let's see if everybody else is on board with this. Right, clue number 3. A statue was erected of myself outside Suncorp Stadium in 2019. See, this is where the thinking caps come on and the studio becomes quiet as everybody's concentrating and we are just talking shit. Right, moving on. Clue number 4. I earned 86 cap for Australia, 55 of those as captain. Next up, our final clue. My nickname was Nobody because nobody's perfect. Right. Let's move on. Everybody's clues are locked in. Let's see where we are standing. So, clue number 1. Highest point scoring forward. We've got Angus giving us Malcolm Marks on our first clue. Nobody else answering on clue number 1. Then, clue number 2. We've got Greg giving us John Eels. And
My clue number one was John Eels.
it's coming up as clue number 1. You probably gave it in a bit too late then.
Controversy.
I know. Jock or Sean, was this you who gave us which one gave us John Eels and which one gave us Zinzan?
I gave
John
Zinzan.
Hughes.
You gave John Eels?
Me.
Jock.
Okay, Jock giving that. Okay. Next up, clue number 3. There we've got 2 John Eels is there, so they will both score on clue number 3, the John Eels. And Angus giving us David Pocock and Greg coming up with John Eels again there. So I'm not sure why why it was repeated there. Then we've got Dylan Jack giving us John Eels on clue number 4. And finally, Angus on clue number 5 giving us John Eels. So I think some of the scoring worked a bit strange there. Our correct answer there is in fact John Eels. So if we go back, that's 4 points for Greg, 4 points for Jock, 3 for Sean, 2 for Dylan, and 1 for Angus. Jandre, you've got it there. Perfect.
I think the scores is showing Sean's lead has shrunk a bit. Brighton Miracle showing that he's coming back on 10 points. Angus moving to 8 and Dylan to 6 points.
Perfect. Right, so the battle at the top getting a bit stringent there. Next up, we've got a tweak to one of our old formats, our round 4, Who Wore Me? So how are we going to make a bit of a twist here? Is the objective still remains the same. You need to name the team. However, we are only going to give you 3 rugby jerseys in this section. And I'm going to give you 2 clues per jerseys here. So the first clue will be the image of the jersey with sponsors and logos and badges blurred out, and you receive 2 points for getting it right for that section. Second clue, the league the team competes in, I will give you 1 point for the correct answer. Right, so I think before we get started, I just want to quickly see, Jock or Sean, would one of you be able to send your answers over WhatsApp rather, because we're still getting a problem with the system there, to me? Which one of you would be...
I will do it.
Okay.
Okay. So Jock will be sending his answers directly to me over WhatsApp, and we'll be relaying so we can sort out our technical issues there. Right, everybody ready? Let's get going with our new Who Will Me game. Oh yes, sorry. And one last point, that you can only score once per jersey. So if you gave the correct answer on the first clue and decide to change it on the second clue, that doesn't count. So if you feel you've got the correct answer on the first clue, refrain from answering the second clue then. Everybody ready? Jersey number 1. Okay, Jock, I'll receive your answer over WhatsApp then. Right, and 30 seconds up for the first clue. Our second clue, the league the jersey comes from is Super Rugby.
Sorry, Richard, is this for somebody specifically?
Sorry?
Is this for someone specifically? Because I don't have a clue thing, and my internet has been poo all night.
This is for a team then. So are you still receiving the images?
So I can change my answer now or not, Richard?
Yes, you can. Right, Greg, are you managing there? Mr. Miracle, can you hear us?
Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. Am I meant to answer this?
Yes, you are meant to answer this.
Am I answering it? Where am I? Is the clue open, or sorry, is the survey open?
The survey, you've already missed it, unfortunately. It's just closed. I'll give you...
Send your answer to Richard on WhatsApp.
Yeah, send your answer to me on WhatsApp quickly, and then we will move on to the next clue quickly. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Right, so the next one will come up as a survey, which you will answer. But let's first quickly run through our jersey number 1. So on clue number 1, we got Greg with internet issues. We've got Sean giving us the Chiefs, Dylan giving us the Waratahs, Angus giving us the Western Force, and Jacques de Blanche gave us Scotland for the first clue. Clue number 2. We had no takers on clue number 2. Well, let's see if I can just open that up and see what's happening there. If our clue number 2, there we go. We had Sean with the Reds there. We had Jock with the Waratahs, Greg with the Bulls. Right, and the correct answer there for jersey number 1 was in fact the Waratahs. Dylan coming out with a full 2 points there, and Jock scoring 1 point there. Next up, jersey number 2 coming up. Jersey number 2. The clue is open. Who wore me? Right, 5 seconds left before the clue closes. The league that this jersey comes from. That means it's an international jersey. Right, 5 seconds left before this round will close. And we've got all our answers in. On clue number 1, Angus giving us England for clue number 1, and Jock giving us North Harbour. Clue number 2, we've got Dylan giving us Romania, Greg giving us Hong Kong, Jock giving us Liechtenstein, and Sean giving us Tonga there. The correct answer for clue number 2 was in fact
Well done.
Yes.
England, their away jersey in 2013.
Against who did they play?
Richard, I did say England sevens on my clue 1. I know it's overridden, but I didn't see my answer pop up, so I don't know what the F is happening. Anyway,
I think it closed too early, for instance. I think it was too early.
I'm like eating my
Okay.
phone. I'm so close to it, so it must be quicker than me.
Okay, perfect. Great. Jersey number 3. Who wore me?
That is a horror show.
What the hell?
That's fucking ugly.
Is that 2010?
Bubblegum team.
Must be.
And just as Andre Gil is saying, it's like an exam hall. The banter starts again.
That is truly one of the worst
Right.
jerseys out
Yes.
10 seconds left before the survey closes.
It's like this.
Next up, we're giving you the clue. This jersey comes from
Fuck to win this round tonight.
the top 14. 30 seconds to answer which jersey from which top 14 team does this jersey belong to. Right. Everybody locked in.
I'm sorry for my first answer. It wasn't intentional.
Next up, clue number 1. We got Greg
Blow,
giving us the
blow at the
Bulls.
bottom there.
We got Sean giving us Samoa, Angus giving us Romania. Next up, we've got Jock giving us Racing Metro after finding out it's a top 14 team. Angus giving us Pau, Dylan with Toulouse, Sean with Stade de France, and Greg with Montpellier. The correct answer, gentlemen, RC Toulon.
Of course.
I'm glad I didn't get that right.
Yeah.
But bloody ugly jersey still.
And if you go on eBay, there's a number 10 worn by Johnny Wilkinson in this color available for purchase.
It will remain available for years.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Right, perfect. Okay, Jean-Ray, before we move on, can you give us a recap on where we are standing with our scores after that round?
Well, there wasn't much counting to do. But we've got Sean on 15. His lead has shrunken to 1. Jock on 14. Brighton Miracle on 10. Angus on 10. And Dylan on 8.
Wow, so that round actually closed things up quite a bit. We've got 2 rounds left before we have to say goodbye to 3 of our competitors. Our next round is a more general round that we focus on the Northern Hemisphere. So for this, it's a more traditional 5 questions per round, after which we're going to answer. So we're just going to answer random questions related to Northern Hemisphere rugby activities. Everybody ready? Let's get going. Question number 1. Name the current holders of the Doddy Weir Cup. So for this round, Jock, you can still WhatsApp me. With Sean, we will use your answer on the screen.
Sorry, Richard, is this the last round for the until
Second
the
last
finalists
round.
go? Second, okay. Just gonna enjoy it while it happens.
Yeah, so you can soak it in this round and next round. Question number 2. This actually came from a Gavin Skevington who gave us this on. Who holds the record for the most Six Nations tries?
Is this a player or a team?
This is a player.
You're getting my WhatsApps, eh?
I'm getting your WhatsApps. Question number 3. How many Heineken Cup or Champions Cup finals have been won during extra time? Right, question number 4.
Marking at the comment section now.
In which city is the 2022 Heineken Cup final scheduled to be held? Question number 5. Brighton Miracle's favorite round, home ground advantage. Name
Too
the home
easy.
team.
It's too easy. Too easy.
I got no clue.
This is what we call a smug player down here at the bottom.
That's
everybody
traditionally
ready?
my very strong section, which I see it's only worth
wanna
1
suck
point
so much
this time around.
Right, so everybody 15 seconds to lock in your answers before we go to the answers. Everybody ready? Let's get going. So, question number 1. Name the current holders of the Doddy Weir Cup. We've got Greg, the Miracle, giving us Wales, Angus with Scotland, Dylan with Wales. Then Jock with Wales as well, Jandre. So Jock scored with that one as well. The correct answer there, Wales. Secondly, who holds the record for the most Six Nations tries? We've got Greg with Shane Williams,
Cool.
Angus with Chris Ashton, Jock gave us Ian Smith, Dylan with Johnny Wilkinson, and Sean with Brian O'Driscoll. We've got a scorer in this round, as
Nice.
it's Brian O'Driscoll. Next up, how many Heineken Cup or Champions Cup finals have been won during extra time? So we got Greg with 6, Angus with 3, Jock gave us 4 there, and Dylan and Sean giving us 2. The correct answer there, Dylan and Sean scoring with 2 of the finals going to extra time. That, of course, being the first one where Toulouse went to beat Cardiff 21-18 in extra time. And then again in 2010, when Toulouse beat Biarritz in extra time once again. In which city is the 2022 Heineken Cup final scheduled to be held? We've got Greg with Edinburgh, Angus with London, Dylan with Marseille, Sean with Paris, and Jock with Cardiff. The correct answer there being Dylan scoring once again with Marseille.
Yeah, well done.
But Dylan's wrong this day.
Question number 5. Name the home team. So we've got Greg giving us Wasps.
Give me the points already.
Angus giving us Bristol, Dylan with Cardiff, Sean giving us the Chiefs, and Jock giving us Coventry. The correct answer there, Wasps.
Well done.
That's Coventry City as well.
Yeah, that's
The Andy
correct.
Good suite.
Perfect. Right, so before we move on to our last round of open play, I see Jean-Andre has updated the scoreboards for us there, as we got Sean holding on to a lead, 17-15 lead there, or Brighton Miracle going up to 12, Angus on 10, and Dylan on 10 there. Is that correct there, Jean-Andre?
Yes.
Perfect. Right, so that means we move on to our last open round. So previously, where we now play the Northern Hemisphere, we're moving down to the Southern Hemisphere. Same format. Questions related to activities in the Southern Hemisphere. Everybody, ready? Sorry, I just want to quickly sort that out there. Let's get going. Question number 1. The Pacific Tri-Nations ran from 1982 till 2005. Who won the most titles?
Didn't know they had that competition.
No.
You learn something new every day.
The purple people eaters. That's what I learned today.
Especially
That's correct.
That's what I've taken from the entire experience.
Question number 2. Who holds the record,
Same
current
story,
record for the most Tri-Nations or Rugby Championship points?
Could it be that simple? Could it be that simple?
I think it's a trick question, but maybe it's a freebie. Who knows? Maybe it makes you think it's a trick question when it's actually not.
Are you reverse psychologing yourself here, Angus? Question number 3. Which African side won the 2010
saying,
ILB Nations Cup? Question number 4. Which team holds the record for the most Super Rugby semi-final defeats?
Oh, definitely.
Meaning they've lost They've lost more semi-finals than any other team in Super Rugby history.
Could it be?
Don't do it, Angus. I don't want to do it.
No,
Home
no,
ground advantage. Name the
Yeah.
home team.
I'm not sure about that one.
Oh, that's a spicy one.
It's kind of familiar.
Hmm.
No, man.
Oh, that's a spicy one.
All right, everybody ready? Submit the answers.
Nah, gents, it's been real.
Oh well. Gave
Yeah,
it
it's
a
been
best
good while it lasts, boys. It's been good.
shot.
I'm
I
glad to
think
make,
I'm
make a
probably
final
have
in my
won in
life.
this
so
round.
Cool. It's cool.
All right, so for
If I
some,
won, I'm
it's the
lucky.
moment of
I
reckoning.
need more than one in.
For other, we're putting you out of your misery. Pacific Tri Nations ran from 1982 to 2005. Who won the most titles? Angus giving us Fiji, Greg and Dylan giving us Samoa, Sean with Fiji, and Jock with Samoa as well. The correct answer there, Samoa. So that means Greg, Dylan, and Jock scoring in that round. Right, who holds the current
And I wanted to
record
go
for the
with
most
Samoa.
Tri Nations or Rugby Championship points? We've got Jock with Dan Carter, Angus, Greg, Dylan, and Sean all giving us Dan Carter. That was not a trick question, as the correct answer there is Daniel Carter. Which African side won the
That's not a freebie
2010
there.
IRB Nations Cup? So we've got Angus and Dylan giving us Namibia, Greg giving us South Africa, Jock giving us SAA, and Sean giving us the junior box. Unfortunately, gents, the South African teams stopped competing in 2008. They did not compete in 09 and 10 and returned as the Kings in 11. In 2010, it was in fact our neighbors, Namibia, who won the Nations Cup.
Nice. Nice,
Hey, got 2
Dylan,
points so
Angus.
far.
And just as a bit of bragging on them, they did it by beating a Scotland 15 in the final by 23-20.
Somebody's got to have to brag for them.
Somebody's got to bash
Nice.
Scotland, yes.
It's a Scotch.
Next
Expect
up.
anything, to be honest.
Which
Oh,
team
no,
holds
we
the
all did it.
records?
Oh, we all did it.
So you got Stormers, Jock giving us the Sharks, and then we've got one outlier giving us the Hurricanes here. Sean, what made you think about them?
Net a raai.
That was a brilliant
Oh.
raai, as the correct answer
Yeah.
is in fact the Hurricanes.
We
Well,
all
think-
took
well
the bait.
done.
I was thinking about the Stormers, and that was the obvious.
I wasn't too much about that one as well. Sure, could have been 4 points now.
Right, question number 5. The home ground advantage. We've got Angus giving us the Rebels. Greg giving us North Harbour there. Crusaders and by Dylan. Waratahs by Sean, sorry. And Jock giving us the Force there. Home ground advantage, Mr. Miracle striking again, as the correct answer there is in fact North Harbour.
Yes, well
I should
done.
be paying more
No, he is-
attention to rugby because I love me some stadiums. So
Well
damn.
done.
Okay, perfect. So at the end of round 6, we need to say goodbye to 3 of our competitors. So if we look at the scores posted there by genre, it means Angus, Dylan, and Mr. Miracle. It's unfortunately the end of the road here, as we've got Sean and Jock going through to our final round. Gents, thank you so much for playing, and we will see you next season, hopefully.
Thanks, guys.
Well done,
Thanks, guys.
gents.
Enjoyed it.
Awesome.
thank you.
Thanks for cheers, guys.
Yes.
Right, and then there were 2. So we're going to keep on with the same round. Jock, think we still keep on with the WhatsApping as we're going to have 2 blanks on our screen there. So Sean still answering on the scores itself. So the playoff rounds. First time either of you two has made a playoffs, as this was not involved in pool play. This section will comprise of 10 rugby questions across all spheres of the game. As a speed round, you're going to have 20 seconds per question. Gentlemen, are you ready? Let's go.
Let's go.
Question number 1. Which Springbok played in the inaugural Varsity Cup final in 2008? Question number 2. Name the player. Question number 3. Who won the inaugural Kiselev Cup in 2021? Question number 4. Who won the America's Rugby Challenge in 2019 and 2018? Question number 5. Name the national team. Question number 6. Brothers Graham and Stephen Bishop both represented the All Blacks. Which other country did Graham represent at the 99 Rugby World Cup? Question number 7. Again, brothers Graham and Stephen Bishop both represented the All Blacks. Which other country did Stephen represent at the 99 Rugby World Cup? Question number 8. Who was the 2021 Major League Rugby Player of the Year? Question number 9. Which Gallagher Premiership rugby team is currently based in Salford?
I don't know.
Question number 10. Who refereed the 1995 Rugby World Cup final?
Probably have 1 or 2.
Shit, dat was moeilijk.
Ek het seker 1 of 2 reg.
Right. Everybody ready? Lock in those answers. Let's get going.
Ek het 2 nie eers geantwoord nie, Sean, so moenie worry nie.
Ek dink ek het op so 'n paar nie geantwoord nie.
Right. Everybody ready? Let's get going. So Greg, answering for fun in the background, shithousery here. We appreciate that. Unfortunately, it's not going to count, Mr. Miracle. First up, which Springbok played in the inaugural Varsity Cup final in 2008? We've got Sean giving us Juan de Jong. Jacques, unfortunately, not answering that question. The correct answer there Juan de Jong.
Well done. Yes.
So that means Sean taking a 2017 lead. Next up, we've got Name the Player. Mr. Miracle is trying to show off here with Kyle Brown. We've got Joe Peterson with Jock and Sean giving us a Jock. The correct answer there was, in fact, Kyle Brown.
Yeah, Craig, waar is jy nou, chom?
He's in the waiting room, still on answering the questions. Who
Yeah,
won the
well done.
inaugural? Who won the inaugural Kiselev Cup in 2021? Now, to give some background, the Kiselev Cup is an new annual tournament that's being for the winner between Russia and Romania, which means Jock actually gave us Romania, Sean giving us Russia. One of the two of you is right. The correct answer there, in fact, Russia that won the first edition. Next up, who won the Americas Rugby Challenge in 2018 and 2019? We got Sean going with Uruguay, Jock going with Chile, and Greg again in the background with Uruguay. The correct answer there, gentlemen. Unfortunately, the Rugby Challenge is a tier below, and that was won by
Oh my goodness.
Colombia.
Yes.
Next up, name the national team. We've got Jock with Malaysia. We've got Sean with Hong Kong and Greg with South Korea. Unfortunately, the person who scored correct here is the one that can't score in this round. And it is, in fact, South Korea. Greg having a chuckle there. I think let's bring him into the studio just for banter, although he's not going to count. Welcome back, Greg.
Scoring all the
Bullshit.
points.
Yeah, you kept the best for last, eh?
Right, next up, brothers Graham and Stephen Bishop both represented the All Blacks. Which other country did Graham represent at the 99 World Cup? So we've got Sean with Samoa, Jock with Samoa, and Greg with Tonga. Brother Graham actually represented
Japan.
Japan.
Knew one of them was Japan.
Brothers Graham and Stephen Bishop, of course, as we said, both represented the All Blacks. Who did Stephen represent at the 99 World Cup? We've got Greg with Wales, which I don't know how good he knows his geography at the moment. And Sean with Samoa and Jock with Samoa. The correct answer there being Samoa.
There's a reason why
So
the
that
Vunipola brothers play for England. That was my thinking.
Is that your thinking? Well, this was before that. This was before I think they all got visas. Or try to sneak their way into the kingdom. Next up, question number 8. Who was the 2021 Major League Rugby Player of the Year? All good guesses, as we've got Matt Gitau, we've got B. Mtawarira from Jock, and Joe Peterson from Greg. It will actually surprise you, but it was won by an American in the form of Mike Teo. Who was named MLR Player of the Year. Next up, which Gallagher Premiership team is currently based in Salford?
Sale Sharks, obviously.
The correct answer there, Sale Sharks.
Yeah, shit.
As they play out of the AJ Bell Stadium in Salford. Right,
Well
so
done,
moving on to the last question there. If Greg was still in, he would have probably been able to come away with this. Who refereed the 1995 Rugby World Cup final? Greg making up a 90s Welsh referee there. Jock giving us a Welsh referee in the form of Derek Bevan. And Sean giving us Ed Morrison there. The correct answer there, Ed Morrison.
Well done, Sean.
Thank you.
Which means coming out of nowhere as our late replacement and stealing a place in the final. Sean, well done on your performance tonight.
Thank
Yeah,
you
well
very
done.
much.
Well done.
Great.
Well done,
We
Sean.
will
Seriously.
see you next week. Next week, Wednesday, as we are returning for our grand final next week, Wednesday, which means in our grand final, we will have William Solomon, Joandre Hubert, our TMO, joining us as a player again. Andre Giel, Louay, the running fly-off, and Sean joining us in the final. Thank you so much, gents. Thanks for the
Thanks,
evening,
guys.
and we'll see you next week.
Bye, donkey. It was great. Thanks, Yula.
Cheers.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Cheers, Rich. Cheers, boys.
Bye.
Cheers.
Okay.